Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Guys, today I'm going to talk about everything that I want to see Epic Games do for Fortnite Chapter 4. We know there's a brand new map coming, so I'm going to primarily talk about the map in this video. Usually when I make these videos, I talk about everything I want to see in the season in general, but since we have a brand new map, and this could put a spice on the video too, you know what I mean? Just talking about specifically what I want to see on the map. It's very different, and you guys know if you've been following the channel for a long time, the things that I like to see, you know, the wacky weapons. I talk about Chapter 2 Season 7 a lot, so I have a couple little bit of sprinkles in there, but at the same time, we are definitely going to be talking about the map. I'm just going to start right off at the top here. On the brand new map, I want to see a lot of different elevations and different terrain on the map. Here's the example that I will give you. If you remember back on the Chapter 2 map, if you would remember down at Camp Cod Caddy Corner with the redacted bunker, there were giant mountains absolutely everywhere in the corner, and the circle never really went there, so we never got to play on it enough. I want more of that to be in the middle, in the center of the map, at least, unless Epic Games wants to do, and this is something I'll touch on a little bit more, is I want the circles to be a little more diverse. But if you were to take those mountains and put them in the middle of the map, or at least like somewhere around there, like right now on this map we have the volcano, we have the 7 base more at the top left the corner of the map, we have all these awesome mountains to take a look at, but they're never in the center of the map. This is something that Chapter 1 did very well. There were always these huge elevation differences. If you had Dusty Divot and it was just like sunken in the ground all the way down, like as low as you could possibly get. Same with Pressure Plant. I understand that was like at the very top of the volcano, but still, like, they just sprinkled all these little things, like the Salty Mountain, for example. Take that, and you know what I mean? Everybody loved that. There were so many hills and terrain and like different there were just different elevations. You guys get the point. Back in Chapter 1, that was something Chapter 1 did so well, and it's one of the reasons why everybody loved that map so much. Then Chapter 2 came along and improved on that. They made like even better mountains with like better ravines, and it was just like way more beautiful, and it was just like well thought out, like compared to Chapter 1. But the problem is they stuck it in one little corner of the map and we never got to visit it. So that's something that I really want to see from this, and I think like the whole community would agree with me on this, so please let me know down below what you think. Another thing I would like to see on the map, speaking of different, like, you get the point, we're talking about the map the whole time, but I want to see more unique POIs. This is something that Chapter 2, again, one of the reasons why Chapter 2 is my favorite chapter, is they did the POIs so well. Every single seasonal update we had, like, take the Spire, take the Coliseum, take like all the agency, you know what I mean, like all those secret agent places. They were all unique, and I really realized this when I was taking a look. I just made a video, by the way. It was great. Go check it out, saying goodbye to every single POI and landmark in Chapter 3. There were so many POIs that felt exactly the same, whether it's a place like Coney Crossroads or Sleepy Sound, where it's just like a little village, even Cloudy Condos a little bit. Like, I understand, like, they fixed it a little bit with raising it with the no sweat insurance, like, little elevation platforms. That's really nice. I liked what they did there. But like I said, there are so many POIs that just felt the same. There were so many 7 POIs. There's so many Chrome POIs now, and they have their great POIs. Like, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, there wasn't enough uniqueness to each single POI, and that's something that Chapter 2 did so well, and even Chapter 1 too. Like, Chapter 1, it's still really good in that sense, but I think Chapter 2 really nailed that. But people hate on Chapter 2 so much because they just reverted all the changes each season, you know what I mean? So I think, like, there are a lot of things they can do from Chapter 2 and on that map and apply it to Chapter 4. It would be amazing. So I want to see a lot more unique POIs. Another thing I do want to see, speaking of POIs, is a lot of people want a lot of OG POIs to come back. I want a healthy mixture of new and old. If I were to, like, take just a random example off the top of my head, I would like to see somewhere around 80% to 20%, 80% being newer, even 90-10. Like, I'd be okay if, like, we just got maybe one POI, one OG POI bringing back, like, for some reason, like Lazy Links. That'd be a very nice surprise to see, but I don't want 3 giant POIs on the map. You know what I mean? Every single map so far, we've had 3 OG POIs, and it seems like Epic Games is probably going to go with that pattern again. What do I think they are going to bring? It's going to be very interesting. I really hope to see Polar Peak. I think that would be great for the winter theme, and that's one of my favorite POIs of all time. Same with Starry Suburbs, but it's fun thinking about, like, all the POIs that can come back, and I understand where Epic Games is coming from because they want to bring back more POIs. First of all, it's very easy to do. Secondly, so many people will be happy with it. Let's say you just take, like, I'm just off the top of my head, let's take Paradise Palms. They stick it on the map. So many people love Paradise Palms, but not everybody loved Paradise Palms. Now, if you were to take 3 OG POIs and put it on the map, there are more likely, you are more likely to have so many people enjoy that spot because they're more likely to get something that the players enjoyed. You know what I mean? You get the point what I'm talking about here. If it were up to me, though, I would definitely put less OG POIs on the map and just brings on, like, brand new, awesome, unique POIs. Give us something, like, brand new to explore with maybe one thing running into where it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they actually put that back on the map, you know what I mean? Or do something like they did with Tilted Towers at the beginning of Chapter 3. It's something they did so well, just uncovered, and it's like, oh my god, that's Tilted Towers. Take a fan favorite POI and do that again. Leave everything else to be brand new. Because guys, if you remember, like, it's gonna be a big problem, because I can see this is something that I always talk about when people ask for the OG map back, because you're gonna enjoy it for a couple weeks, then you're gonna get bored again and realize why you wanted to move on from that OG map. That would be really, really cool for 2 weeks, maybe a month max, so we need brand new things to explore. That's something that Epic Games and Fortnite does so well, and that's why we keep playing the game, because the game keeps changing. We don't want to keep recycling old content. Another thing I would like to see is them implement a little bit more, I don't know what to call it really, like more items on the map for no build, like more cover and like more easily accessible things for no build, because again, no build, the popularity of it is just skyrocketing, and people, I don't know how many people are playing no build compared to build. Regardless, build players can get everywhere with the build, right? So I'd like to see more zip lines, maybe if they were to introduce a climbing mechanic, and again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Like, I want to see more things added to no build where it improves the game for those players, because I can see them having a huge problem, and I've run into this myself as someone who doesn't play no build a ton. It's just like, wow, I have to really go around this whole mountain. It's just a little bit inconvenient at times. Plus, a big open area, and this is going back to what I was talking about. I want different elevations. I want different ravines, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Give us more cover. I want more rocks, more trees. Give me a jungle, like whole biome like we saw in Chapter 1, Season 8, except like obviously revamped. So maybe something a little bit similar to Stealthy Stronghold. I understand like the hypocrisy in what I just said, because I just said don't recycle old content. You know what I mean? You get what I mean. Just improve upon the game. Give us more stuff for no build. Moving on, and this is what I was talking about earlier, is when it comes to the map, I want the circle, the storm circle, and this is something I don't see people talking about a lot. Why does the center of the storm always go somewhere in the middle of the map? Do you remember OG Fortnite, when sometimes those circles where you had to run across literally the entire map? I want that back again, because you don't get to nearly play around with the entire map. There were so many parts of the outskirts of the map this chapter where I was like, when I made that video, again, what I was talking about earlier, I made a video saying goodbye to every location and landmark. I was like, this is on the map? I completely forgot about this. You know what I mean? So I never experienced like playing around in different points of the map. It seems like a waste for that development time. Why would you not want those circles to just be in the middle all the time? It just changes the gameplay all the time. I will never understand that. I want the circles to be everywhere. Make it just completely random where it shows up. Why does it have to have a more likely chance of going in the middle? I hate that, and I really want to explore the rest of the map. I want to play on the rest of the map. I want a different feeling for each game that I play in Fortnite. Another thing, I guess this kind of relates to the map, like I was talking about earlier, I want a brand new mechanic. Of course, we know we're going to get a brand new mechanic. I want something like climbing. I want something like PBJ pointed out to me. Go subscribe to him. Amazing YouTuber, description down below. Anyways, he suggested that there's underwater swimming, and I was actually thinking about that when I was playing Warzone. I was playing the brand new Warzone, and I don't know if you could do this in Warzone 1 because I barely played that game. If you go in the water, you can go under, like if you go in the water, you were able to go underwater, and I think that is an absolute fantastic thing that Fortnite could possibly implement. And then we could have a POI like everybody wanted Coral Castle to be, you know what I mean? You could just swim under. Just imagine the POIs like that, where it's like these little areas where you could just swim under the water, and then there's a platform down below. Imagine like the fun that you could have there, hiding the meme strats. I would love to see Epic Games implement underwater swimming. I think that would make a fantastic improvement for the game. PBJ came up with that before anybody was talking about it. I swear to God, he was telling me it's the first time I ever heard of it. Now, you could always introduce other stuff like climbing, especially that would help the no-build players a lot if they need to climb up mountains. I don't know how that will work. I don't know if you... off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else. Like, I just want a brand new mechanic like that, because Epic Games, when they added tactical sprint, when they added the sliding, they absolutely nailed it. When Epic Games comes up with their movements, they just absolutely nail it. I love it, and I'd love to see them add something brand new in Chapter 4 in that sense. We're almost done here, guys, and first of all, another thing that I want on the map is I want them to continue the storyline. I want map changes with the storyline. I always point back to this. I always point back to Chapter 2, Season 2. Remember the agency. Remember those little pillars that Midas was building for the device. Every single week, it was so simple, and it's so easy for these Epic Games developers to do, and I don't understand why they get away from this. Give us these little tiny updates where it's like, hey, something's going on in the agency there. What could be going on? Is it related to that Midas character? I don't know. Is Midas like building, like there's this Doomsday thing in the code? Maybe there's something for the Doomsday device? What is that? Is that maybe this pillar in the water has something to do with this device that Midas is building? And then it makes for such a fun experience for Fortnite players, and I don't understand why Epic Games doesn't do this, because again, I don't know what it's like to be a developer. I don't know code, but that has got to be the easiest thing compared to the things that Epic Games pushes without these brand new updates. I don't understand why they won't do this again. I want them to get back to it. Little things, that's all we're asking for, and it would go a very long way in the Fortnite community, and that's what I want. I want them to expand the storyline, give us map changes like they used to, and while I'm at it, bring us back the loading screen to tell the story. Easy peasy. Just hire some artists to do it for you. It's easy. All this stuff I'm asking for is easy for Epic Games to do. And lastly, guys, this brings me to my last point. The last thing that I would like to see is a brand new minigame in the middle of the map. For those of you who follow the channel, I talk about this all the time. So if you watch a channel all the time, you're welcome to click off the video here. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Remember the Abductors. Chapter 2 Season 7, the best season of all time. I always say the most amazing season to ever grace Fortnite. That was an amazing thing to have a mini game at the beginning of the match, and that just fixed the lulls in the middle of the games. You know, when you're playing a game, you walk around, you can't find anybody, and you have to wait until the end game. We all have those games, right? Plus, a player count could possibly fix that. I don't know. It's a conversation for another time. I don't know if that would actually fix the game. Regardless, took players off, gave us something to do, it gave us rewards for it, and it was a very, very fun mini game. It was storyline related, and it was just, it had everything that we were looking for. Drop back on the map, easy peasy, and then there's so many people in the middle of the game, and then you never had those giant lulls in the middle of the game. The entire 22 minutes of every Fortnite game was filled with straight fun, and one of the reasons why I love Chapter 2 Season 7, I want another game mechanic like that. I want another mini game to take us in the first circle. That was so much fun. You know what? If they ever copied and pasted it, I'd be okay with that. I really would. And I'm someone who talks about like Epic Games shouldn't recycle content, but that mechanic was so good. I want something like that again. It just made the Fortnite experience even greater than it already is. And guys, with that being said, that's all I got for you today. I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about my list? Is there anything that you would change? And let me know what you would like to see on Chapter 4. And let me know what would you like to see on the Chapter 4 map specifically, guys. I'm going to call the video there. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here and you enjoy the content, please consider the like button, help the channel a ton, and subscribe if you're brand new. Check the description down below for links to all of my other channels, as well as like the Real Ember on Fiverr will take care of all of our YouTube thumbnail needs. Remember, guys, thumbnails are the most part of your video. Let Real Ember take care of that for you. And if you'd like, use my supporter creator code in the item shop. It is code Clen, hashtag admin, hashtag Epic Partner. Thank you so much for watching again, everybody. I will see you in the next video. Take care.